pick up from where Justice left about crop insurance. So we did a study to look at the status of crop insurance in Kenya, and we focused on the innovative weather index-based insurance products. So one of the challenges that is facing our agriculture is we have a larger pool of farmers, the smallholder farmers who constitute the main set of farmers in the country, who are unable to secure the formal, or rather the mainstream insurance products. The traditional insurance, we know that it involves a lot of monitoring, when the cost of administration is a bit a challenge. So because of all those challenges and the desire to promote the smallholder farmer, weather index has been developed as one of the ways to caution these farmers from the extreme weather-related shocks, because we know that as much as they can use other mechanisms to protect their productive systems, there is an extreme to which those measures may not be able to cover them. So we were interested to look at the weather index, but perhaps looking back at what we have in our country, we know that penetration of the entire insurance sector is about 3%, and this is the share of premiums that are paid against the GDP. Then again, the population that has any form of insurance is very low, about 7%, and we know that that is now the statistics for the general insurance in Kenya. So due to lack of sufficient statistics for agricultural sector, then the case in the agricultural sector may be even worse. So you will not be able to see exactly the picture. So this work was focusing purposely the smallholder farmers. The crop of interest in this case was maize, because that was one of the areas where we were able to get a sufficient number of farmers taking up insurance. So we were interested to know perhaps what are the major risk factors that these farmers are facing, and then again how they are aware, the level of awareness, and again to see what are some of the factors that would help these farmers to take up insurance. So our key findings show that drought and pest and diseases are the major factors that cause crop losses for maize crop, which we also think may not be quite different in other enterprises. Then again, looking at the level of awareness, yes, farmers, they know there is agricultural insurance, but the understanding of the concept of insurance is an issue. So we found that that complexity aspect is also prohibiting these farmers from taking up insurance. So one of the key things that came out was that training of these farmers to enhance their understanding, to boost their decision-making process was a critical component that was required. One of the things that the involved partners in the insurance, the micro-insurance, was they used to train these farmers, and we see that a high proportion of those who are trained really took up insurance. But due to the complexity aspect, lack of understanding how weather index insurance works, and then again there were issues in terms of how to understand how these premiums were computed. Then there was an issue of basis risk, which is the key challenge that we found in weather index products, whereby since these products are based on a correlation between a certain parameter, weather parameter, and the weather and the weather performance, then if the correlation is not strong enough, then there is a chance that a farmer will incur losses, and it will not reflect then they will not end up receiving their compensation. So that now affects the confidence of the farmers towards the insurance product. Then the other challenge, or other issue that came up was the type of products that are there in the market. We understand it's a new field, it's a new venture in terms of innovation, but farmers were willing to insure more crops. To them, in some areas, maize was relatively less important to them. So they were looking for other insurance cover for other crops like vegetables, yet it was not available. So that now becomes an issue in terms of the type of products, or even the choice of products that are offered by the insurance industry. So based on all those issues that we were able to come across from interacting with our farmers, we see that there is a need to tailor this product. That is one of the issues, because we understand our smallholder farmers are operating at different socioeconomic levels. So there is need to tailor different products that suits different economic conditions and even agricultural enterprises in different regions across the country. Then we understand that this type of product, they were involving a lot of investment, because they were relying on weather stations and among other instruments. So to enhance that correlation, or rather predictability of the events, we need support from the government, because we understand at that time we were doing this work, mainly the private sector was driving this initiative. So there is need for the government also to come in, try and boost the initiatives of the private sector. That's why we are saying private-public partnerships is the way to go when it comes to development issues, including agricultural insurance. Then the other major issue, a group of those who didn't take up insurance were complaining of the cost of the premiums. They were finding it a bit expensive. About 14% of those who didn't take up insurance. So perhaps one of the key things that the government could do is to provide what we call smart targeted subsidies, perhaps to help the poor farmers to be able to secure insurance cover for their enterprises. Then the other major thing that we think could be the way forward is some studies elsewhere have found out that bundling of these insurance products with other services like credit would enhance its uptake by the farmers. So we think still it can be tried to enhance the bundle of benefits that our smallholder farmers will reap from paying the insurance. So I think those are the major things that we found in our study, and it's interesting perhaps to see what we can further discuss.